Hey guys, JayDYGO here, and today we're back with a new deck profile. Just want to go ahead and start off the video with a shout out to JayDYGO. I've been watching all of his videos on DDDs. This man is literally the king of DDDs. All the combos I've learned, what cards to use for the deck, kind of based on what he's had. And then of course I've changed it up myself just to see how it goes. Every locals is different. But yes, please definitely check out his videos if you want to learn about DDDs. He goes into very in-depth videos, lots of live duels, dueling books, stuff like that. So I actually took this deck to locals yesterday, and I actually did pretty well. I came tied for third. First two places were both Flunderies players, and no one could just beat Flunderies at our locals. I did not have an out to barrier statue or anything, or at least had anything from the side deck pop up. But yeah, my matchups were new Dark Magicians with all the stuff they got. Then I had Sky Strikers, Lyrilisk, and then Flunder was my last match. But hey, coming third with DDD is not bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. Starting off, we're playing 3 Summon Kepler. Kepler adds a Dark Contract from deck to hand. It's great because it's either normal or special summon, so you can 1-for-1 it out, you can hard normal summon it, you can summon it from hand with Swirl Slime if it's engraved, you know, stuff like that. And it works great if you did open Dark Contract with the gate, you can just add one of the other ones instead, so it works perfectly well. Next, we're playing 3 Copernicus. Copernicus is a great card because you can send 1 DD card or 1 Dark Contract card from deck to grave. So mostly in the combos I've done, I send Necro Slime or Vice Typhon, one of those to keep going and go into a fusion play. Next, of course, we're playing the new Busted Support. We're playing 3 DD Griffin. This card is literally insane. Lets you extend from hand, lets you add a card, and lets you draw a card too when it's pin summon. Busted. The level 4s are very important in these builds now because you need to go into a rank play to do the combo, but Griffin is literally one of the best cards ever. Next, of course, playing 3 DD Swirl Slime. Swirl Slime lets you fuse in hand, which is great, and then when it's engraved, you can banish it, the special one from hand. That's come up a lot when I was playing yesterday in locals, so that was really convenient. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people know what to do against DDs most of the time, so it's pretty nice when they think they got something for you, but then you just keep going. Next, we're playing 2 Ragnarok. A lot of people are playing 1. I'm sticking with 2. I had a really crappy hand yesterday, actually. I had opened both of them, so I couldn't set them with Gilgamesh, but it worked out surprisingly super well. Next, I'm playing 2 Orthos. Orthos is super good. Tuner, specials from hand, and its Pendulum effect is actually really nice too. Once per turn, I can target a spell or trap on the field, and then one other DD card or Dark Contract card I control, and destroy them. So yeah, target a set card on the field with this, pop it, and then loop around, get it back to your hand, special it out. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Next, I am playing the 1 King Apocalypse, just level 7 extender. It's come up a lot. I wanted to cut it, I just could never bring myself to cut it. Just nice to go into Siegfried if everything else didn't work out. So yeah, I kept it around. I'm playing the 1 Lamia. Lamia I wanted to cut too, I just never really seemed to need it. But I kept it because it's good for discard fodder and then it just comes back. So if all goes to fail, I can at least try to make a desperate play. So next we have the level manipulators for the deck. We're playing 1 Baphomet, and this is supposed to be DD Cerberus. I just never got in the mail in time for locals yesterday, so I actually did play DD Dog. But it worked out well because a lot of people were playing Dark Magicians, Lyrilisk, anything that had a fusion or an Xyz. I don't think there was really a Sword Soul yesterday, so it didn't work. Never had to play that. But yeah, it worked out in its place for Cerberus, but Cerberus is better just in case you have Savant and Griffin for the 2-card combo. You just need to set a Cerberus in scale instead. But Dog did come up a lot, so I'm actually not too mad about it. I just definitely will swap it out. The next piece we're playing is the fusion stuff engraved. We're playing 1 Typhon and then 1 Necro Slime. Both of these I do go through in the combo when I was doing it, but it does come up great because someone DD crowed my Necro Slime, so then I just sent Typhon instead, and it worked out. So yeah, Typhon lets you into big Genghis. This usually makes small Genghis, of course, and the deck just pretty much keeps going no matter what happens to it. Next up, we're playing 1 Thomas. Thomas actually came up yesterday, and it worked out a lot. Its Pendulum effect is I can add 1 DD Pendulum monster from my extra deck to my hand, and it worked out because I needed to recycle Griffin, and I'll show you guys what I mean and what that hand looked like towards the combo part of the video. But yeah, I can't cut this card anymore. This card came in clutch. And for the last monster I'm playing 1 King Rage. Unfortunately, the Europe players don't get to have it. I don't really know what else I can tell you guys, but this card is really good, and I know you guys know that. But yeah, you can tribute one monster. Pretty much your opponent can't activate monsters or effects in spell and trap zones, or they can't activate card effects in their hand or graveyard, or this card can attack directly. And what's great is if you have 3 monsters, you can get all 3 effects. It's not a once per turn thing. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that wraps up the monster lineup in the deck, and we'll move on to the spells. For the spells, I'm playing 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. This card is amazing. Just pretty much add any DD monster from deck to hand. Let's go into your combos if you have one of the opening pieces. Yeah, you open this and Kepler, you normal Kepler, they Ash it, Imperm, Veiler, whatever. You activate this anyway, and they just waste a card. It gets everybody, I love it. I'm playing the Dark Contract with the Swamp King, of course, very standard, just to fuse and make the big gangs or small gangs, depending on what you need. Of course, the new field spell, Dark Contract with Patent License. This card is so good. So I opened it in my game with Sky Strikers, so of course I ended the board with a Link monster. So he opened and goes into Kagari, he takes 1,000, and then he just can't go anything past that. So this card is fantastic, and of course when it goes to grave, you get to add a DD monster from your graveyard, or a face-up DD Pendulum monster from extra deck back to your hand. So that's part of the normal combo line where you add back Orthos, but this card is super good just on the field itself, and man, I kind of want to play this at 2, I just don't know what to put, and I don't want to go more in the deck past 40. Next up, I'm playing 2 Allure of Darkness. Of course, you would just want some extra cards, so you can pretty much get rid of any extra DD monsters you open up with. So if you open up 2 Keplars, one of them's going. It's pretty nice. Next up, I'm playing the 1 for 1. Get Kepler from deck to the field, get your free gate, and keep comboing like that. Playing the 1 Called by the Grave. This card's just necessary. It's good. Actually didn't open it at all yesterday. I could definitely, or draw into it at least. I could put Monster Reborn or that 3rd Allure. This 3rd Allure clogged the deck, and then this one I just felt it was safer in case they ash something pretty important like a Copernicus, then I could stop it. And yeah, that wraps it up for the spells. So onto the traps. And of course for the trap, I'm playing 1 DD Headhunt, which is pretty much a searchable crackdown for the deck. I get to steal my opponent's monsters. They can't declare an attack, its effects are negated. But if it's special from the extra deck, I get to treat it as a triple D monster, which is great because you can just slap Machinex over it. But yeah, this card is super good, pretty much helps steal games because, well, they need a very important monster, I take it, they can't do much. If you guys were keeping count with the deck, I was actually only at 34 cards. The last 6 cards I play are pretty much interchangeable. You guys can play whatever you want, whatever you feel more comfortable with. You want more gas, more hand traps, whatever the like, you can do what you want. This is why I feel like you could definitely move around. I'm playing the 1 Eternal Darkness, which is good because if I have 2 DD cards in my Pendulum Zones, my opponent can't target its monsters on the fields with spell or trap effects, tribute them for a tribute summon, or use them for material for a fusion, synchro, or an Xyz summon. Super good, really good against Luralisk, any fusion deck, really. It was a super good card for my locals. Next, I'm playing the 1 Nibiru. I'm playing 2 Ash Blossoms, which are weird numbers, but that's because I'm playing 2 Crossouts in this deck. So I was more afraid of people Nibiruing me because they just didn't know what to do. If they got me at a very crucial part in the combo, or they got me super early on, I just didn't want to risk it. That's why I played Crossout and Nibiru in the deck. The 2 Ash Blossoms came up, just another nice interruption. Ash is Ash, whatever. But yeah, this is the 6 I was running. You don't have to run this 6. You of course change it. You can play 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, Forbidden Chalice, whatever. I kind of wish I did run Forbidden Chalice yesterday. I just didn't. Could have helped me with my Flinderies matchup, but it is what it is. Came in 3rd, not too bad. But yeah, so that is it for the main deck. We can move on to the extra deck now. For the extra deck, of course, we're playing 3 Abyss King Gilgamesh. This card needs to be at 3 in here. If they ever hit this to 2 or 1, I think you could play with 2, it'd survive, but 3 is a lot safer. Most of the time I went through all 3 in every game. I think one game I only ended up going through 1. But that was just really lucky, but 3 is crucial, it keeps you going, and of course it sets skills for you from the deck. You are locked in only DD monsters the rest of the turn, but that's not going to matter, but everything you're playing is DD. The next, of course, I'm playing 2 with the Visor King Machinex. I was playing it at 1, and then I watched Jack's videos and his theory about it. Definitely run 2. I went into 2 pretty much every single game. For the Xyz, I'm still going. We're playing the 1 Marksman King Tell, and then the Wave King Caesar. This is pretty much the combo line, but these cards are great. So Wave King Caesar, when it's sent from field to grave, you get to add a Dark Contract from deck to hand. And then with King Tell, when it's sent from field to graveyard, you get to send a Dark Contract or DD card from deck to graveyard. And it's great because this one actually isn't once per turn, and I usually send either Necroslime or Vice Typhon, whatever I just didn't have in the grave first, or even the patent license so I can add back Orthos to hand. There's a lot of stuff. Usually when I was playing yesterday, I would send another Necroslime or the Vice Typhon just to keep going off because I was afraid people would just stop me at any point, so I wanted to keep extending in a way. Then I'm playing Wave High King Caesar, so Big Caesar, 2 Solemn Warnings pretty much. This card is super good. It was really unfair when I summoned this against Dark Magicians because they're like trying to get everything out, and I was like, no. And they thought it was once per turn. Then I said no again, and very super fast game with this card. And of course, I am playing the 1 Zeus. I was debating playing Zeus or not. I was like, I'm never gonna go into it. I went into it. So pretty much, I didn't know what to do. He had gotten me pretty good in the game. So I just fused with Necroslime and I think Gilgamesh Engrave, and I made a small Genghis. I overlaid into Machinex. For that, I punched him, and then I went to Zeus. So I was surprised it came up, but I'm glad it did. It worked out. So that's it for all the Xyz monsters. For the Synchros, very light Synchro package, I'm playing the 1 King Siegfried, of course. Swirler Trap Negate, pretty sure everyone knows it at this point, but if you guys don't, this can technically negate Dark Ruler No More if you activate a trap or a spell in response to Dark Ruler No More, and then this card can target Dark Ruler No More on the field and negate its effect. Because you're not negating the activation directly, you're looping around and then negating it, which is super cool. And I actually didn't know that, but my friend Mikey, who taught me DDDs in person in the last format, was talking about that. And it saved me a lot, it's really nice, and I'm just happy I know that. And the last Synchro I'm playing is the Baron de Fleur. I understand this card's pretty pricey, and not a lot of people want to play this. Same with Zeus, really. So there's some alternatives I kind of would recommend, but these cards are the price because they're that good. So Baron de Fleur didn't actually go into yesterday, never really needed to, or slash had a chance. But the way I had the boards, or the way I was playing, I don't think this one would have been necessary half the time, but it's good to have just in case. They stop you pretty much everywhere. But so that's it for the Synchros. And for the fusions, I am playing of course, the 2 small Genghis. Great because I mainly go into this for Wave High King Caesar. Or because I have Baphomet, it's good for level manipulating, and you can just make something else level 6, and then you can just overlay for Big Caesar. Then of course I'm playing the 1 Big Genghis, so Genghis, and pretty much all the DDDs have the effects to target a DD Engrave and Revive. So this is really good in the combo line because you can bring back the other one and piggyback revives. And yeah, it's just so nice. It pretty much keeps you extending, gets all the gas to your hand. And of course the last fusion I'm playing is the Oracle King to Arc. Level 7 helps you gain life points with all your spells and traps that make you pay 1,000. So it's been really nice. Yeah, backup for making Siegfried too, if you just pretty much can't get it to it any other way. So level 7 and Lamia, make your Siegfried level 8. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the extra deck and the main deck. Let's go on to the combos. So before we go on with the combo part of the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to JayDYGO one more time. This man has all the stuff. I learned this combo through him, so make sure you guys give all credits and make sure you check out his videos for all this. I mean, of course, subscribe and like the video for me too, but, you know, make sure you get Jack all the credit for the DDD stuff. Alright, so we're going to start off the 1-card combo, which is this Kepler. So what you can do is you're going to normal Kepler. Kepler's going to add you the gate. Luckily right there. So we'll add Construct with the gate, we'll activate it, we'll add. You're going to be adding Griffin. Then you'll go Griffin effect in hand, the special. That goes through, then you'll link. Go ahead and then make your first Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh's effect to set the scales, you're going to be setting your scale 0 and your scale 6. So scale 0 is going to be Rage, right here. And then scale 6 is your Cerberus, but in place it's Dog. So let me get this real quick. I'm going to place this there, but I want to put Cerberus's effect here with the magic of editing right there. So Cerberus is a scale 6 and Rage is a scale 0, pretty much meaning you can special from 1 to 5. So you'll pin summon right now. You'll get your Griffin and your Kepler. From here, you're going to activate Cerberus's effect. You're going to change the Kepler's level to 4. So let me put a dice on it for you guys. Level 4, you'll overlay, make your small Caesar, and then overlay on top, you'll make your King Tell. Gilgamesh's effect, by the way, after you place the scales, you take 1,000 damage, which means King Tell's effect will now work, meaning you can detach material, lower hits attack by 1,000, and then burn your opponent for 1,000. Fantastic. From here, you can then link the Gilgamesh and the King Tell for your second Gilgamesh. King Tells effect will now trigger in grave, so you get to send a Dark Contract or a DD monster from deck to graveyard. So in this case, we're going to send a monster. For here, we're going to send Necro Slime. We'll activate Necro Slime's effect, will banish itself and another DD monster for material, and we'll make a small Genghis. So next, we're going to overlay for Mechanics here. I just want to give you guys a warning, when you do overlay for Mechanics in this combo, or just in general with Gilgamesh, make sure you don't put it in zone 1, 3, or 5. Because when I was playing yesterday, I would always make it in this zone here in the middle, just because one, it looks cooler there. But I would then make Gilgamesh, and I couldn't pin summon out 2 monsters from the extra deck, because I locked myself out of one of the link arrows. So just playing ahead in the future, I'm going to remember to put it in either this zone or that zone if it's unoccupied. When I make another link monster, or at least in the far zone, just so that way when I do make another Gilgamesh, I have 2 zones available for it. Yeah, just it makes more sense thinking about it in the way ahead, but of course you're doing a lot, so just make sure you just put that as a reminder. So then we'll make the Mechanic, because Mechanics with special summon, you can then target a DD card in your graveyard to revive because of Little Genghis. You're going to revive back your Wave King Caesar. And here, this is why we run 2. You got to go for it. You're going to link the Wave King and the Mechanics for your 3rd Gilgamesh. You'll then activate the effect of Small Caesar, which is going to add you a Dark Contract card from deck to hand, which is going to be the fusion one. So you add Swamp King, you'll activate Swamp King, Swamp King's going to banish. I would most likely banish the Caesar or the 2 Gilgameshes, whatever you really want. 2 Gilgameshes, not too bad. I'll banish those 2, make another small Genghis, overlay for Caesar. Bring this down, but remember down here, go into another Mechanics. And yeah, that's pretty good. So what you guys see here is we have 2 Solemn Warnings, and then we pretty much have a decent amount of suck-up effects. So if you guys don't know about Mechanics, you can also pop a Dark Contract card instead of just detaching 2 materials, which is great because you go pop Contract, they absorb the monster. Then you can pop, or detach 2, absorb the next monster. Pop this card, absorb the next monster. Detach 2, suck up another monster. So Mechanics is busted. It's not once per turn. It's once per chain, and that's even cooler. So you can't do it like continuously, but really awesome card. And that was the 1-card combo just off of Kepler. Yeah. So need to remember that for sure. This combo it's super good. I mean, like, look what you can do. You still get like super good effects. Get a decent amount of suck-ups with Mechanics. You get 2 Solemn Warnings just off of 1 card. So yeah, we'll move on to the next combo. So this next part isn't technically a combo. I'm just showing you guys the exact hand I had when I played yesterday, and I thought I pretty much bricked, or I thought I just couldn't do really much a lot in my turn. But with Copernicus, you know, I already thought the basic stuff. I was like, oh, I could send Swirl Slime would banish. I could then summon Baphomet from hand, and then I could make Gilgamesh, set scales, and then pin summon 1, you know. But then I was thinking, I was like, well, hold on, there's actually maybe a little bit more I can do. So this comes in with Griffin and Savant Thomas, which is really cool. So let me show you guys what I did. So I normal Copernicus. Copernicus then sends Swirl Slime. So this part, I think everyone kind of, you know, figured out what we were supposed to do. Swirl Slime will banish. You'll summon the Baphomet from hand. Alright, and then from here, you'll just go ahead and then make Gilgamesh. And this is what I was thinking here. I was like, well, you know, I could set Ragnarok, and then I could set the Orthos, you know, the 2 basic cards you go off with, but I really wouldn't do much. I could then, you know, have a King Rage and then something else and see if I can just pin some of these from hand, but then I have an 8 and a level 6 that technically just don't do much. So then I was really thinking about Griffin, because, you know, Griffin pretty much can pop a card on the field, will boost the attack of a card, pop itself and go to the extra monster zone. I'm like, well, that's great. I just still need the pin summon, and then everything started working out. So let me show you the rest of this. Let me stop rambling and let me just show you. So I set and scale Thomas, and I set and scale Griffin. So with here, I have scale 1 and then scale 6, so I can go 2 to 5. So from here, I went ahead and just pin summoned the 1, and I pin summoned Copernicus. And then, you know, everyone's sitting there's like, well, can you extend past that? And you actually can. I went ahead and activated Swamp King just to throw them off, see what they'd do. And then I will activate Griffin's effect. His pendulum effect is I can target a fiend monster I control. It gains 500 attack until the end of this turn for each Dark Contract spell and trap that I have with different names on my field or in my grave, and then I destroy this card. So I do that. Griffin, because I have the 1, will give Gilgamesh a plus 500. Then it pops itself and goes to the extra deck. Alright, and then what do you do here? Then Thomas's effect. Thomas's effect, I can add a face-up DD Pendulum monster from extra deck to hand. I add back Griffin. Griffin effect, special from hand. So now I have pretty much the full combo board. I can then set the Ragnarok in scale, and you pretty much go all out. I made Caesar, I made King Tell effect, burn for 1,000, lose 1,000 attack. I then go ahead and link to Gilgamesh number 2, King Tell effect. King Tell sends Typhon. You have Typhon effect. Typhon banishes it and the Copernicus. You make Big Genghis. Ragnarok effect. You will target one to revive. You will revive the Griffin. Then you would chainlink 1 Griffin, chainlink 2 Big Genghis, so then Genghis would target to revive. You would revive the little Caesar. Griffin would add you Headhunt. Once I find it, there he is. You would link again. You'd make Gilgamesh. You then would use Wave King Caesar's effect to add a Dark Contract. So here, I just added the license because I thought that'd be a good idea. Because I already have the Swamp King, so I go ahead and activate Swamp King. We'll banish the 2 Gilgameshes. We'll make Little Genghis, and then we'll bring this down. Make Machinex. Little Genghis effect because of DD was special. Summon back Baphomet. Baphomet effect will target the Genghis and make it a level 6. You then overlay these 2. You go into your Wave High King Caesar, and then I did end with 2 just unnecessary monsters. I'm pretty sure I did have that in defense, but I mean from a hand that pretty much couldn't do much, setting scale Thomas and Griffin, and then just popping Griffin itself to get Thomas to add it back to hand, and then you end with License and Headhunt. So you do an insane amount here. So you end with 2 Solemn Warnings again, then you end up with 1 suck-up, 2 suck-ups, 3 suck-ups, 4 suck-ups. So if you remember my counting, I would do pop the contract, sucks a monster. Detach 2 materials, suck up new monster. Pop the other contract, you can activate this contract effect if you want. Suck up the next monster. Then detach 2, suck up another monster. Once per chain, then Headhunt, you can steal 2. So this hand that went from crap went to something pretty similar and pretty crazy itself. Yeah, so if I had another level 4, if I had another rank 4, or if Griffin was also a tuner, that'd be great. I can go to Siegfried, but unfortunately that's not the case. But hey, everything still worked out. I won that match super quick. Alright, so let's move on. So for the last combo I'm going to show you guys is also a combo showcase on Jack's channel. It's 2-card combo of Kepler and Griffin, so pretty much you're going to do the normal stuff. You're going to go Kepler, you're going to add gates, you're going to activate gate. Gate will then add you Copernicus, and then you have your extender in hand, which is Griffin. Griffin activate the summon. You link 2, you make Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh will set and scale your Orthos and your Ragnarok. Take 1,000 here. Because you can now pin summon level 4s, you'll go Copernicus from hand, and your Griffin. Griffin's effect, if you have another DD card you can get rid of, you can pitch it, draw a card. Copernicus effect will then send, you're going to send either Typhon or Swirl Slime, or sorry, Typhon or Necro Slime. So Necro Slime then. Of course, go into your normal stuff, you'll overlay, go into Small Caesar, overlay for King Tell effect, burn them for 1,000, it loses 1,000. Then here you can get Orthos to pop King Tell. Because Orthos can target a spell or trap on the field and another DD card or Dark Contract, so counts as a spell, and then you can target your other DD monster. So King Tell's effect, when it goes to grave, you get to send. License, when it's sent to grave, you get to add a face-up DD Pendulum monster to hand, so you add back your Orthos. From here, you'll go Necro Slime to fuse away it and Copernicus. You make your Small Genghis. Then effect of Ragnarok, because you specialed a DD monster, you get to target DD in grave to revive it. So you'll target your Griffin, and then you'll chainlink 1 Griffin, chainlink 2 Genghis, chainlink 3 Orthos. Orthos will summon because you took effect damage, you specialed it from hand. Genghis will now trigger. You'll revive back your Caesar, and then Griffin will add you a card. You're of course adding Headhunt, but if you opened it, add something else you might need. So after that, go ahead and Synchro 8. Make your Siegfried. From here, you'll link 2 with your Caesar and Gilgamesh. Second Gilgamesh. Caesar effect will trigger to add you a Dark Contract. Add your Swamp King contract. Oh, fell apart. From here, you can go ahead and activate Swamp King. You currently do not have a level 5 DD monster in grave, so you can't make big Genghis, but you can definitely make small Genghis. So send Gilgamesh and Wave King Caesar. For here, you can send Little Caesar or you can send King Tell. I like keeping King Tell just because it comes back and then it goes to grave. You can keep sending stuff to keep going. But I always like sending Caesar right off the bat, so King Tell stays in grave. So you're fusing out another small Genghis. Go ahead and overlay those for your big Caesar. Bring this down, go into your Mechanics, set your Headhunt. So from here, you have a very, very good board. You have your 2 Solemn Warnings, your Spell and Trap Negate, and then a lot of monster suck-ups again. So of course, pop this, get attached, so that's 1. Then detach 2, another 1, pop this, another 1, and then, yeah, so how many suck-ups is that really? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 suck-ups, and then on top of this, so 6-card interruption. Yeah, it's pretty good. This deck does an insane amount. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's a little more longer and more extensive, I guess. And the camera quality isn't the best it normally is. I'm just using a webcam today. Didn't really want to set up my whole camera rig and all, but hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you please check out Jack's videos. This man is the king of DDDs. I've said it again. But yeah, this deck is crazy. I would not be surprised to see this deck get super popular. Alright guys, well I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.